Hey there, it's Jim and Debbie with another Midday Minute, the YouTube show that just can't possibly wait until the next episode of our Midday podcast, which we'll record on November 22nd, by the way, so check us out at enf.elks.org/midday or on iTunes. Debbie, it's November, that time of year when the rest of the country starts thinking about what we Elks have been doing all year long.
Right. Veterans Day is Monday, of course, but every day is like Veterans Day for the Elks.
We appreciate the extra help because there are a lot of veterans to serve, of course. But, come on. Now, for the past 4 years in particular, we've been focused on homeless veterans, serving homeless veterans.
Right. The order is pledged to help the VA eliminate homelessness among the veteran population. Today, we are joined by Mary Morgan, the director of the Elks National Service Commission, to talk about how we're progressing toward that goal.
Come on
Come
in,
on,
Mary.
Mary.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy Veterans Remembrance Month.
Thank you. Welcome to the Minute.
Yes.
So, Mary, how are we doing? How many veterans have we served through the Welcome Home Initiative?
So since we launched this program over 4 years ago, we've helped more than 8,000 veterans who were experiencing homelessness.
And that's strictly through emergency assistance and the Welcome Home kits, right? Not so much the grant projects?
Yes.
Okay. And are we making progress? What's the homeless veteran population? Is it about 50,000 still? Is it lower now?
There has definitely been progress. It's an overwhelming problem, but the homeless veteran population is estimated to be 40,000 or a little lower. It is a difficult number to get, so that's why you see different stats all over. But there's definitely been progress, and we personally have been contributing to progress in a couple different locations. Lake County, which is just north of Chicago, last year announced that they reached functional zero.
And why don't you explain what functional zero is for our viewers?
Functional zero is a very practical term. What it means is that we may never be able to prevent a veteran from becoming homeless, but there are enough resources there that, say, if 5 veterans become homeless in that month, we can get 5 veterans housed and back on their feet within a month. So functional zero means that we're doing everything we can and people are getting the services they need right away.
Now, when you look at the problem that way, there's 2 issues, of course. There's the veterans who are living in shelters or on the streets, but there's also the ones who are in danger of losing their homes. And the emergency assistance component of Welcome Home is particularly important in fighting both of those, isn't it?
Absolutely. So the emergency assistance, I would say, is fairly evenly split between preventing homelessness, helping people pay the rent, do things like car repairs and small things like that can really knock you off your feet.
Like old utility bills.
Exactly. And then the other half is a lot of it is security deposits for veterans who are moving into apartments. The VA can help with things like rent and monthly expenses, but for somebody who needs to come up with an $800 security deposit, that can be prohibitive for many people.
On average, what would you say would be the average emergency assistance funds?
So veterans can apply for up to $2,500, but the average amount that we give out is around $1,500.
Wow.
And does that small amount of money, relatively small amount of money, make a difference?
It makes a huge difference. I mean, we get wonderful thank you notes all the time. We've heard directly from social workers in San Diego, which is one of our areas of increased focus, that 100% of the veterans that we've helped through the emergency assistance program in that city are remained housed. So it gave them what they needed. The right amount of assistance at the right time can make a huge difference.
That's tremendous.
Do we hear from many of the veterans we help through this program?
We really do. People are extremely grateful, and they send us thank you notes, emails, phone calls all the time. We recently got a new batch of letters and thank you cards from veterans and social workers in San Diego. You can see them; they're very colorful and spread all over here. We hang them up in our office.
Nice.
After we read them, but they're really thoughtful, and there's a few things that you wouldn't think of. A lot of these thank you notes do say, thank you so much for keeping me housed, but also my 5 daughters can remain housed as well. And there's actually a very heartfelt letter here from a veteran who said that his dad was an elk until the day he died, and he wrote a very long, thoughtful letter about how he's been dedicated to service and in the military and government service his whole life, and he is so thankful that the Elks could be there for him.
And of course, your donations make the program possible. another thing I'd like to focus on is when we do help veterans move into new homes, often they're going in with nothing, which is where the welcome home kits come in.
Absolutely, and that's a really popular thing for our lodges for several reasons. I think it can be adapted. You can do one welcome home kit every few months. We have some lodges that do one a week, but what it does is, move into an empty apartment. A lot of times you don't have a bed. So the Elks can be there and provide somebody with a bed and dishes and pots and pans so you can make your own food and cleaning supplies. Simple things that can be really hard for somebody with almost no discretionary income to set up their home.
It's the kind of stuff that makes a house a home.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's been a program that's grown every year since we introduced it. Right now, there's a 30% increase in welcome home kits over last year, and last year was a huge jump from the previous year, so it's really popular.
Now, coming up in the next week or two, there's a big staff event happening, right?
Correct. Yes, every year the Elks HQ staff go to the Chicago Winter Stand Down, and we usually collect supplies and buy supplies, and then we go there and hand it out and help with everything that we need, serving meals, cleaning up. It's one of my favorite times of the year.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for our staff to get out and help in a way that they can. And that's on the 15th, right? November 15th. And don't you serve on the committee through the VA that helps put the stand down together for Chicago?
I do. We help organize it. So they're always kind of asking what we can provide. And we usually provide volunteers. Sometimes we bring Elk scholars from the area.
Right. We'll have at least a few scholars there with us on the 15th.
Yeah, so it's a tough event because every year you see so many people who are struggling, but it's really nice that we're able to help.
And winter has come so early to Chicago. It's really important to be able to get coats and socks and hats and gloves and everything, all those winter essentials in the hands of people who need them. So it's great. The other aspect is the Spotlight grants that we introduced this year. One of the 7 projects that every lodge has an opportunity to apply for would be the stand down. So right now we have more than 300 Spotlight grants approved, but every lodge has that opportunity. So we encourage you to apply if you haven't by December 31st.
And does a lodge have to hold its own stand down, or can that be used to support an existing?
It can absolutely be used to support an existing, and probably if you have that opportunity in your community, it'd be better to support an existing one because then, economy of scale and safety in numbers.
Right. Now, new video series just launched yesterday, right?
Yes, we're very excited about it. It's featuring some of our volunteers in the Washington, D.C. area and some of the veterans that we've helped there. It's got some really great stories, small things that you wouldn't think about, a veteran who got a job but needed to help pay the fee to get his license so he could go back to driving trucks, and the Elks were able to do that, or buy beds for a veteran's children who had been sleeping in sleeping bags on the floor. Mm-hmm. So it's a really nice insight into what we do and how remarkable our volunteers are.
And people can watch those videos on your Facebook page.
Correct.
Our Facebook page.
Correct.
Your YouTube channel.
Yep.
And our YouTube channel.
They're everywhere. Please watch.
Mary, thanks so much for joining the show. I know you got a lot of important work to do, this being Veterans Remembrance Month and all. Yes. If you like the show, give us a thumbs up. Tell us how you're serving veterans in the comments below, or maybe you received a great thank you note from a veteran. Share that below as well. While you're here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and tap that bell so you'll be notified whenever we post new content. Thanks so much for your support.